Remakes are a hot topic in video games. Like some people like PlayStation will remake a game Days Gone, even if it's only like 4 to 6 years old. Now you might say that this is a weird time for this video because Resident Evil 9 is coming out. But yeah, 2 remakes were leaked, Resident Evil 0 and Code Veronica, so that means that 23% of all Resident Evil games will be remakes, which if we keep this up, 90% of the games will be a remake in only 18 years from now. And yeah, that's assuming that they release 1 remake or 2 remakes like every 3 years, but still, Resident Evil's been around for almost 30 years. And some people say Resident Evil 8 was not that original, pointing to the village start, but Resident Evil 5 also started with a village and also had a different plot other than that. But the remakes are different because people actually like a remake, so Capcom has no need to stop making remakes. I mean, it's clear they really like money. But let's look at Resident Evil 2 Remake. Capcom sold 15.4 million copies and selling for about $40 to $50 each. Not looking at sales and stuff, that means Capcom made an estimated $924 million. And it's estimated to only cost somewhere between $90 to $100 million. So about $26 to $36 million in profit. Then the Resident Evil 3 remake. Still not as popular, but they still sold 9.6 million copies. And I couldn't find the greatest estimate for how much Capcom made Resident Evil 3 for, but they still most likely made money off of the sales in total, because it's only estimated that it cost less than Resident Evil 2 due to a lack of content. But then we look at the newest remake, Resident Evil 4 Remake, selling about 10 million copies, making about $640 million, and only costing $100 to $120 million to make. So about $450 million to $500 million in profit. So Capcom has made a lot of money from the remakes. So it makes sense that they would keep making them because the old players can come back and enjoy the nostalgia, and new players can join the games without having to deal with the old game bugs. So it's a win-win. But that still leaves me to wonder, will Resident Evil eventually just get fully rebooted in the future? If they're still doing remakes and they keep doing super well, there's likely that some games might get skipped over or remade almost to a new game, Resident Evil 6, but that's if people don't grow sick of Capcom. People were not happy when they added microtransactions to the Resident Evil 4 remake, or basically cutting off multiplayer servers, like what was in Resident Evil 3, like super fast. But Capcom's reputation has gone down a lot, shutting down online games that people paid for and not offering any refunds because you had to agree to the terms of conditions. But like I have said, microtransactions have also ruined their reputation. But really, the stop killing games can slow Capcom down. But let's talk a little more. But I talk about that a little more in the Resident Evil 4 remake is Almost Perfect video, which will be linked in the end screen, actually. But back to the remake. So Capcom has made 2 great remakes. 3 if you count the Resident Evil 1 remake, but that just gave in upgraded graphics and kept the tank controls. But going back to more horror-based games with Resident Evil 7 and 8, it would make a lot more sense to remake older games, so that'll leave Capcom with a lot of Resident Evil games to remake and try to make a profit. Resident Evil changed a lot from 1988. Like in 1998, not getting the whole game in one charge was a way to make a game crash and burn in hatred and forgottenness. But we're in 1988, and Capcom is a lot more divisive. But Resident Evil is also different from Capcom's other games. Like Capcom, other big games like Street Fighter, not really a story game, so it makes sense that Capcom hasn't released a remake. Oh, what? They made a remake of Street Fighter 2? Well, the more remakes in the world,
the more people will buy! Oh.
Yes, that was a Lorax joke in 2025. Cancel me. Not really, please don't cancel me. I need my 5 subscribers that I will get from this video, hopefully. Just look at oh wait, you guys clicked off when I glazed The Last of Us. Well, in this video, I'm gonna hate on The Last of Us, okay? Hashtag hating on The Last of Us in 2025. But yeah, Resident Evil has more changes to make with remakes, because unlike some games, people are fine with more Resident Evil remakes, so Capcom has no reason not to make remakes. If people didn't want Capcom to make remakes, they definitely wouldn't have made almost, like, $2 billion off the remakes already. Resident Evil 9 making Outbreak canon. Why not remake Resident Evil Outbreak so that more people would understand Resident Evil 9? They have a lot more incentive to make remakes than, say, like The Last of Us, which has made way too many remakes. Seriously, like 10 remakes since 2013, guys. How much do you actually want those many Last of Us remakes? But for now, we just have to wait and see what Capcom does, because there's still a chance that they can overdo it. Like, what's not The Last of Us? What's not The Last of Us? Final Fantasy has been remade a lot. Some people think that many of the Final Fantasy games have been remastered a little too much. Not as bad as the last. Okay, no, I'll stop the Last of Us hate for now. But that's still far away for Resident Evil, because people still love the Resident Evil remakes, so that just means that Resident Evil's slowly gonna be rebooted. It's just wondering how long it'll take. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to sub, and I will see you in the next one.